June 16th, 2026, A Meditative Life. The Power to Transform. Beloved saints, are you abiding into the peace of the Lord today? We live every day into an incredibly busy and fierce world, constantly struggling to obtain a reliable weapon and millstone to protect our lives. However, what truly makes us live and makes the fundamental shape of our lives dance beautifully is not flashy power or wealth, but only God's truth, the power of the gospel contained into the words of the Bible. The story we will share today is a moving anecdote that shows how this gospel of life completely transforms even those stubborn of human natures. There was a great Canadian missionary named John Getty. He carried the bread of the gospel into a small island inhabited by rough and fierce cannibals, a place no one else wanted to go. When he first set foot on the island, the people were living like beasts, and their culture was nothing but darkness and fear. But missionary John Getty was not discouraged. He served them with the heart of a good shepherd, learned their language, translated the Bible, and educated them. When he returned to the Lord's embrace decades later, the islanders erected a monument over his grave. Engraved on that monument was one of the most dazzling confessions in history. When he first landed here in 1848, there was not a single Christian. However, in 1872, when he passed away, there was not a single cannibal here. Beloved, what an overwhelming testament to the gospel this is. Missionary John Getty turned everyone on the island into Christians. This gospel has the unimaginable power to transform people. Even cannibals who ate people like beasts can become exceedingly holy and gentle Christians. Then, how does the gospel transform us? Above all, it changes our status by taking those who were sinners before God and making them his children. John chapter 1, verse 12. Because we originally did not know God, we were darkness, but by meeting Jesus Christ, we received the light of life and became children of light. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 8. Furthermore, a rough nature full of complaining, grumbling, and resentment is changed into a beautiful life of living brightly, giving thanks, and singing. It allows a person who lived shabbily in guilt and frustration to be washed clean by the blood of the Lord and live a pure life with freedom and hope. Today, thoroughly starve the old nature within you and feed the new nature fully, every day, through God's word, praise, and fellowship with believers. There are countless people around us who lived truly fierce and rough lives but were transformed into gentle and beautiful lives by meeting Christ. Love this gospel of life. In the Lord my character will develop like gold and silver, and it is a foregone conclusion that I will endure any hardship and achieve ultimate victory. Meditation and application. The first meditation is looking back at my status and nature transformed by the gospel. Am I certain that although I was originally a child of darkness, dead into sin and trespasses, my status has changed into a precious and noble child of God, a child of light through the grace of the gospel? Let us honestly reflect on whether we are feeding our old nature with rough food like anger, hatred, and resentment, just like the cannibals, while feeling discouraged about why our nature is done changing. From today, let us firmly hold onto the spiritual compass that my status is a child of light and resolve to sing songs of thanksgiving and praise instead of complaining. The second meditation is anticipating the beautiful fruit the gospel of life will bring. There are countless people around us who lived truly fierce and rough lives, but were transformed into gentle and beautiful lives by meeting Christ. Am I perhaps giving up on someone or limiting the power of the gospel by saying, that person will never change? Completely trust in the overwhelming love of the Lord that turned even cannibals into Christians. Today, even amidst a busy daily routine, let us put spiritual praises on our lips and shine the Lord's radiance to our neighbors with our transformed characters, like gold and silver.